we talked about this before, like nationalism. Nationalism is the biggest threat, I think, to humanity. Outside of natural disaster and like an asteroid fucking coming down and hitting the Earth, I think it's the idea of nationalism. It's the idea of these artificial borders that we draw. Yeah. And based off of these artificial man-made borders that we draw and decide, we're like, okay, well, you're from this country, you're from that country, you're of this race, you're of that race, whatever it is, and then the whole kind of human tribalism tendency kicks in after that and amplifies it because of these borders.
It's just like this nationalism is a more specific leg or arm of pride.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. So yeah, if you can be cognizant of the moments where you feel that nationalism or when you feel that pride kick in, maybe stop for a second and be like, am I reacting this way deservedly so? Is this necessary? Do I really need to feel that pride right now?
Well, you can see how it's so tempting for Chinese people to feel very nationalistic, which much more the young generation of Chinese here are being very nationalistic,
very
super national pride, right? But you can see how, like, I mean, if I was growing up and part of the younger generation here, I'd probably feel the same way. It's super tempting because you're coming from a country that is growing and improving and has always been kind of bullied and stepped on by other Western powers through its past, right? And now, and it's always been scapegoated, and you know, in Western media, I've talked about that in my last episode. And now, like all of a sudden, it's like a sports team. All of a sudden, like fucking, you're fucking, you guys are doing really well. You guys have got a great record. You're getting all these all-stars on your team now, and it's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna root for my team. Like it's about time. Like we've been the underdogs for so long. Now we're coming into power. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna ride or die with this team. You know, I'm gonna ride or die with this country.
Yeah.
And anyone else that stands in our way, like fuck them. You know, this is our time now. And I get that. Like I see how tempting that is, but that is that you draw parallels. Like, I mean, that's kind of how, you know, the Nazi Party started, is playing off of that nationalistic pride of like, you know, like it's our time, this is us, and we've been fucked over for so long, and scapegoating someone else and just rising because of that.
Yeah, it's like you either, like you said, ride or die with the team that you're rooting for, or you're on the other side and you just appreciate the sport, right? And what is a little more glamorous? What has more stakes? You know what I mean? Obviously, you're rooting for the team. I mean, you're in it to win it, and you're in it with the rest of the other people with you, creating emotion, right? I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a lot more attractive than appreciating the sport and appreciating the idea of competition or appreciating the idea of talent.
Yeah,
that's not as glamorous. You know, and not just glamorous because glamour, the idea of glamour is more of, I feel it's a little more conscientious, but like it's human biological nature to be.
It's emotional.
It's like, emotional, yeah.
You're going to react naturally emotionally, right? And when you react emotionally, you're going to feel kinship with your countrymen. You're going to feel a bond with your country. You're going to feel that pride. It's so tempting. You get really swept up in it, you know?
Yeah.